Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tawanda, and I'm the Migraine Crafting Diva. And on this channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. And today's video will be a part of a playlist, the Patriotic DIY playlist, and I will go into more details about the host and the co-host during the video. So we're going to go ahead and get started with DIY number 1. For this DIY, I have these wooden welcome words or letters, and I have a wooden heart that all came from Target. I had the letters for a while, for probably about 3 years. The heart I picked up, I believe after Valentine's Day, it was 90% off. I also have some scrapbooking paper from Hobby Lobby that was 50. I believe I got it for 50% off. I'm also going to be using the Deco Art burnt umber paint. I'm going to just mix that with some water to thin it out to make it like a stain, because I did have I was going to use my Waverly antique wax, but I thought I had 2 bottles and I ended up giving my half-used bottle to one of my coworkers, and yeah, then I didn't have another bottle, so I just kind of made my own stain. So, and here I'm just going to go around the edges of the heart with my stain, and then I also go back and I actually just end up painting the whole heart, the edges, with just the burnt umber. And then I'm going to take that scrapbooking paper here, I'm just showing you here, and I'm going to go ahead and use some of my Mod Podge, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that piece of scrapbooking paper or scrapbook paper onto the heart. Now I will say I did lose half of this video, but the board behind the board that you see there is what I was going to use to make a welcome sign, but I ended up not using that and using something different. So you'll see that here coming up. So the board that I ended up using came from Hobby Lobby. It's another welcome sign that I picked up last year, and it was 90% off. And so I just decided, instead of making another welcome sign, I would make this one double-sided. So this is the one that came from Hobby Lobby. It says welcome and it has the little bees on it. And then I just spray painted it with the Rust-Oleum semi-gloss spray paint. And then here I'm just showing you the eye screws that I'll be using to add my little heart. And then I'm going to show you the little butterfly welcome sign that came from Dollar Tree. I went ahead and took that apart, and I'm going to use some of the little hooks to attach that to my heart so that it'll hang. And I'm going to just make this interchangeable. So if you pick up any of these little welcome signs from the Dollar Tree, if you decide that you want to make this welcome sign or anything, you can just make it interchangeable, and just, I mean, it fits perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead, and you can see I have my little eye screws already up below my C, and I went ahead and applied them also to my heart. And my letters, they were not glued down, so I'm going to go ahead and get those glued down. And then once I have my letters glued down, I'm going to also use my leveler just to make sure that I get my words straight, my letters straight, and then make sure that they're as even as possible. I went ahead and just placed them where I wanted them, and I drew with the pencil a little like line above each one so I would know where to place it, and just making sure that it's evenly placed with using my leveler here. So once I have my letters all glued on, I'm going to go back and I'll go ahead and show you how I'm going to, actually I'm just going to go ahead and just add the heart and the butterfly. So I'll just show you how I'm going to be able to just switch those out. And like I said, when you're in Dollar Tree, if you see those little welcome signs, you can easily change those out if this is a DIY that you decide that you want to do. So I will say that once I had everything glued down and I looked at it, I just thought that it just needed something else. I thought it was a little bit too white. So the boards above the W and the E at the bottom, I went ahead and I had some Waverly antique wax and some black paint that I have with some water that I have mixed in a little jar that I use sometimes. And so I went back and I added that to those areas just to darken it up some. So here I'm just showing you how I'm going to just change those out, the hearts and the butterfly, and I love the way that this turned out. And I just like that it's really simple, but yet you can put whatever you want to change it out to just give it that pop of color if you want, or just to make it different. You can just change it for any season. So I plan on taking the heart off after the holidays and putting the butterfly on for summer, or I may even see if I can find a bee, or actually a ladybug would be nice. If I can't find a ladybug, I could probably make my own. So, but yeah, so here I'm just applying that mixture to those bars that go across, and that is going to be it for this DIY. So let me know what you think. I love it. So yeah, let me know what you think. For this DIY, I have some Mod Podge, I have 2 cans, and then I have 2 pieces of scrapbooking paper from Hobby Lobby. They were both 50% off, and I am going to go ahead and just measure out how much I need to wrap around my cans. And then once I have my papers cut how I need them, or the length that I need, I'm going to go back and start applying the Mod Podge to my cans, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap the paper around my cans. So today's video is a part of a playlist, the Patriotic DIYs playlist, and it's hosted by Brenda from Rustic and Lace, and the guest host is Robin from Crafts Unleashed by Robin. I will go ahead and link the host and the co-host YouTube channels in my description box, along with the link to the playlist. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you for continuing to support me. I do greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you still continue to watch my videos every Sunday, I do greatly appreciate that also. And we're going to go ahead and get back into the video. So for the second can, which is a little bit larger, I had to cut a smaller piece off for the middle section. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my Mod Podge and then add that little piece in the middle. And okay, so this is what it looks like after I put the that first piece on, and I'm going to go ahead and just take the second piece of scrapbooking paper. I'm going to go ahead and line it up and try and get the stars lined up and matched up as close as possible to try and just make it seem like it's seamless. And then once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and let it dry overnight, and then I'll go back and add a second coat of Mod Podge. Now once I added that second coat of Mod Podge, and I'll also go back and trim off that little piece at the bottom. So here I am taking my scissors. I'm just going to cut in little slits into the paper because I didn't want the paper to just go up to the top. I wanted it to go inside, just in case if somebody stuck their hands in there, like one of my nieces or nephews, and they cut themselves. So I wanted to try and prevent that. So I went ahead and added some Mod Podge and on the inside of the can, and then placed those pieces of paper down. And then I went over them with some Mod Podge also, just to make sure that it didn't come up. So that is that one for that can. And then for this can, I cut the papers too, but then as I was folding them down, I actually ended up liking the way that it looked like that. So I went back and I just started applying the Mod Podge in between the little sections where I cut, just to make sure that it stayed together. And I like the way that I love the way that it turned out. And I think I'm going to try to do this with another, excuse me, I think I'm going to do this with a different type of scrapbooking paper. So I have another idea that I think I could do with this that I think might be really cute. So here I am, just adding my second coat of scrapbooking paper. Again, I'm going to just let it dry overnight. And then I have this one of the rolls from some of the Dollar Tree ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and also some of the double-sided tape from Dollar Tree. And I went ahead and just took the 2 pieces off of the spool from the ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and just tape those 2 pieces together, and I'm going to trace around it with my scrapbooking paper, and I'll cut it to the size that I need. And then I'm going to use some of the Mod Podge and apply that to this circle, or it's going to be my lid for the one can. So here I am, just getting that all together and adding my Mod Podge to my scrapbooking paper, and I'm going to go ahead and just place it on top. And I'm going to take the other piece and place it around on top of that one. And I cut that piece a little bit larger, and what I should have done was I did it backwards. I should have did the larger piece first, because I cut little slits onto it to fold it back. And then what I should have done was use the first piece and did that after I did that. But I ended up going back and just cutting another piece of paper and just putting it on top, just to make it look more cleaner. So here I'm just cutting those little slits into my paper. I'm going to go ahead and fold them down and add my Mod Podge. And like I said, I did go back and add another piece of scrapbooking paper on top of that. So once this was completely dry, I decided I was going to, look at how cute that is. I love this DIY. So easy, so simple, and so cheap. So here I am going to drill some holes into my cans. Now I will say I did push a little bit too hard in the suction, and I did get a dent, and but yeah, I ended up pushing it out some, so I did actually end up turning it out just fine. So now I'm trying to figure out what I want to use as a lid, as a handle to be able to put on my lid to lift it up, what knob I want to use. So I ended up just using the white one, and I just thought it was a little bit too white, so I'm going to go back and add some of that burnt umber onto it, just to kind of distress it a little bit. And then I'm going to hot glue it on top. And then once I have it hot glued on top, I'm going to go back and I'm going to start to add my lights, my string lights, my fairy lights, excuse me, onto my cans. So the can that I did not put the, so this one I just drilled a hole in the bottom, and so I'm going to put all of my lights in from the bottom, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue the on and off switch to the bottom of the can, and then that's going to be it for this DIY. And I love the way that these turned out, and I plan on using these outside on my my table on my deck once we bring everything out for summertime. And then I'm going to go ahead and just place the second can. I'm going to go ahead and just place the lights on the inside and glue the on and off switch to the side of it, and then place my lid back on top after I put my glue it on top. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the way that this DIY turned out. I love it. It's my favorite DIY of the video. So yeah, let me know what you think. And we're moving right along to DIY number 3. So here I have one of those windmills from the Dollar Tree, and it's in the red, white, and blue. I went ahead and just cut off the 4 of the pieces, and I actually ended up using all 6. Here I am struggling with my miter shears. It's a love-hate relationship. So what I went ahead and did was I used some of the scrapbooking paper and I went ahead and applied it to, not applied, but I went ahead and used my Mod Podge and Mod Podge it onto one of the craft sticks. And then I have another craft stick here that I'm going to be using for the body of my butterfly. So once I have it like I want it, I'm going to apply some hot glue and I'm going ahead and start adding my little wings for my butterfly. So I'm going to do 2 white at the top and I'm going to do a red and a blue at the bottom. And then I just thought that it needed a little something else. So once I added all 4, I just felt like it needed something else. And then I ended up adding the other 2. So the 2 white ones up top, I added the other 2 behind them just to give it a little bit more depth and to make those wings a little bit bigger. And then as I was sitting there doing this, because I was going to use this windmill for something else. So while I was sitting there looking at it, I was trying to figure out what I was going to use for my little like antennas for the butterfly. And I was going to use another like smaller craft sticks, and then I looked over and I saw that I had like one of those little twisty ties. So I went ahead and just used one of those. I bended it, twisted it some, hot glued it on, and that was it. And then I went ahead and hot glued the top onto it, and that is it for this DIY. And then actually it's not it for this DIY, excuse me. So once I had that done, I went back and I was going to make a pillow for this video, but I ended up not doing that. So I ended up just cutting off a piece of the red fabric and hot gluing it onto the back of the butterfly. And then I just went ahead and took that and tied it onto my wreath here for my door. And that is it for this DIY. Really easy, cute, and simple. And I like the way that turned out. Let me know what you think. So we are moving on to our last and final DIY for today. I have these 2 wooden coasters, and then I also have another piece of the scrapbooking paper, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut it to size, and I'm going to add some Mod Podge to my coasters and apply my scrapbooking paper. And that is going to be it for this DIY. Really easy, cute, simple. I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to sand off the excess, and I'm going to apply another coat of Mod Podge. And that is going to be it. And I love making coasters. It's like the easiest thing to make, and you can make all different kinds. But yeah, so that is it for today's video. If you like what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And like I always say, nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.